Uh, Hi guys. Good morning, all of you. Hope all of you can hear me. Anyone, guys? Anyone can you please confirm? Is I'm audible?
Yeah, audible.
Right. Okay. Okay. Very few people joined for today. Okay. So we have one small conclusions are left over, guys. So that is the reason. Just actually, we don't generally conduct the session on the generally on the demos. Okay, but anyhow, in the last session, we started with initially with something about what is machine learning, but still we didn't clearly discussed about like what is data science, what is deep learning, what is NLP, not completely about Gen AI, what is agentic AI. So we didn't started much about that because in the first session itself, within the demo sessions itself, we can't understand all the things, guys. Slowly we are going to study one by one, we are going to study about that. So first, but anyhow, the basic fundamentals that we have to require is obviously machine learning is the basic foundation, guys. Because deep learning, NLP, AI, even if you want to go for generative AI, because generative AI depends on the deep learning, guys. So deep learning is a part of your machine learning. Okay. So your whatever the generative AI models, whatever we are working, they are completely developed with the help of something called as a neural network concepts only. So which we simply call it as transformers. That what the technique nothing but is what we call it as transformers. So what is a transformer, how it will work? So just if you understand them, you can understand how the LLM models are going to be gets working with them. So that is one thing. And after that, we covered about just a small applications only. I have just shown you, like what are the different environments. Also, I'm going to work with them. So we'll set up all the system. We'll try to make the setup and all these things in the coming classes. Like what softwares are required. Obviously, no doubt, Python is required. And apart from that, some kind of an IDE. So which I may use as Anaconda, the Conda environments we are going to use with them. And apart from that, we are also going to work with something called as N Visual Studio and all these things. That is VS Code, what we are going to be gets using. So we are going to work with all these kind of an applications. Okay. So don't worry. Later I'll set up the environments and all these things. We are going to do that. So in your system, if you said Conda, it won't work. But in my system, if I set Conda and say enter, so it has to work basically. Okay. So it's going to be something, don't worry. Just later we are going to work with that. So just later I'll tell you all that applications and all these things. Later we are going to, sorry, later I'm going to work with all these applications later, guys. Don't worry about that. Okay. So that's it. That is going to be just almost all. The technical, that means not a practical approaches, just a technical understanding about what is machine learning. Okay, what type of applications we are going to do that. Something we got some a little bit idea about those particular concepts now, guys. So the leftover is nothing but just I want to, because obviously everyone has an idea about like because they want to compare. So what concepts we are going to learn? Okay, we learn machine learning, but as part of machine learning, what we are going to learn? So nowadays, everyone, there are so many training academies. Obviously, there are a lot of different types of training academies will be there. So who is providing the most, or who is providing the best, or who is providing the industry standard, so that you can also compare and you can also get some, you can also decide like in which training academy or which faculty member I have to join. So almost all 80% of the content will be almost all same, guys, for everyone. Only thing is that the how they are approaching, so how they are delivering that particular topics, that is going to be depends on that. So that you normally by looking at the course content and all these things, you can't decide that. Okay, fine. But anyhow, just we want to give some approach. Like you should also have some idea. Like already I told you, first we'll start with Python, and after that we are going to have something called as almost a like given all that the, whatever that concepts we are going to work with that. After that we'll start with some prerequisites of the data science concepts. That is nothing but some libraries like NumPy, libraries like Pandas. Yesterday I told you. So it's not about pandas, but using pandas, what we are going to learn. So what we are going to do basically, pandas is one of the library mainly allows you to work with data, reading of data, analyzing the data, cleaning up the data. Anything you can do some data manipulations. So all these things will completely done with the help of some pandas libraries. Okay. So that's the reason what we just discussed about that. Once again, if anyone has missed it, yesterday's class, I'll share the file once again. I just didn't discuss about anything about that. So this is all about something about the concept yesterday given, about something about the course contents. Main topics only I have highlighted. I didn't highlighted the miscellaneous topics. So we used to have another miscellaneous topics used to be there. We removed them, guys. Okay. So first, as I already said that we are going to start with, which is going to be core Python, guys. Core Python, as I said that 5 to somewhere around 7 to 8 topics will be there, guys. Not more than that. Okay. So see there, these are going to be some basic topics. Better to learn, guys. Better to learn some little bit. Though the concepts are very less. Whatever the concepts we are going to learn in Python is very less. But those topics you have to learn a little bit more confidently and more detail, just not just like an like what is a list. Okay, just one or two methods of a list, just within 5-10 minutes we can cover up them. It's not like that. So understand in depth about that, because here and there we have to use them. Absolutely, we have to use them. Without knowing, without using the list, and without know how to handle, without knowing how to handle the list, we cannot go for the implementation, guys. So these are all some basic topics of which is going to be the core Python topics, what we have to work with them. So after that, there is a basic foundation, one of the basic foundation called as a NumPy. So NumPy is mainly, it helps you guys. NumPy, everyone has to learn minimal knowledge. We don't go for deeper into the NumPy, but minimal knowledge. Everywhere it is going to be just a minimal knowledge of which is going to be NumPy. So NumPy is basically stands for numerical Python. It helps you to work with something called as slicing, or generation of sequence of numbers, a generation of random numbers generations, performing some kind of a linear algebraic equations. Total all the maths, whatever we are going to do. So everything we'll do with the help of Python. In the Python, we are going to do every mathematical calculation. Generally, we'll do with the help of a library called as NumPy, because NumPy provides all the mathematical utilities. So linear algebra, Fourier transforms. Okay, so many things are there. Matrix additions, matrix multiplications. So everything we can do very easily with the help of a NumPy. So NumPy is the basic foundation for maths, guys. Basic foundation for maths only. We don't do anything there. Just it is a basic foundations only. That is what we are going to learn as part of this. And after that, that means mainly our machine learning for data science. What is basic important, guys? Data, first of all. So how do you collect the data? So in the last couple of classes back, I shown you like how I read the data from an Excel sheet. So I done with the help of simply nothing I done. I just copied the text here like this. Just I copied the text like this. Just I copied the text. And simply what I did is I went to the Python and said, simply it is going to be pandas dot, which is read underscore clipboard. So directly whatever the text that was copied into the clipboard, it was read, and that was loaded into some Python object. It has been got loaded there, which we call it as data frames. So all that data importing, all the data analysis because before giving the data to the machines, we have to do some analysis, whether the data was clean or not, or whether the data is accurate or not. Is there any missing values are there? So is sufficient data is available or not? So all that analysis will be done with the help of the pandas. Now a competitor has came for pandas. Pandas is a very old one. But nowadays, recently, some company has came called as Polars. So that Polars is saying that we are faster than pandas, but still people are not adopting to polars, because people find very convenient with pandas, and a very popular, very old one. So experience, it's old one. This is a newborn, so it's going to be. That's why people still there are not just adopting to the polars library. Still, there are using everything with the help of the pandas only. So that is one point what we can discuss. And after that, to have a more detail analysis, we require to go for some kind of a visualizations is there. So really, the things are okay. The concepts are different, guys. For example, data analysis and all these things. Even if you don't have any libraries, also at least we can do by writing some number calculations and all these things. We can do it, guys. Okay. So let's say, for example, I want to calculate what is the average. So whenever you want to calculate the average, just an example I'm saying, guys. So there is a directly, if you use that libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and all these things, we directly have a functions called as a dot mean functions will be there. Just if you said dot mean, it will calculate the mean functions. Otherwise, if you don't have the mean function example, then no worries. You can just still we can do. How do you do that? Just we have to calculate some, I have some values. So just I have some list of values, for example. So what we have to do is just we have to put it in a loop, get one by one values. So put a temporary variable. Just an example. Normally we all of you know it, right? T equal to, which is going to be t plus the value of I values. Let us say that each and every value of that particular list. Add up them. So put it in a loop. Okay. So put everything into just a loop here now, and after coming out of them, t divided by whatever the total, which is going to be what is the length, we can get this. So even if you don't have the idea about the mean function, in the case if mean is not available, we know how to calculate the mean. Right? Direct function is mean, single shot. Otherwise, you have to write the logic behind that. But the main important is these visualizations, guys. The visualizations, what we are talking about that. So normally visualizations, we can't do it. Normally visualization is not just like a calculations now, guys. So drawing some vertical lines, horizontal lines, shapes we want to draw. Okay, we want to give some colors. So how can you give all these things, guys? So if you want, we can write it. I want to draw something. I have to draw some x-axis, y-axis. So I want to just draw a circle. If you want to draw a circle, I have to specify what is the radius of the circle. Draw one circle with this, where you want to draw it. So all this effort we need not to put at all, guys. Single line of code. Directly, there is some library called as matplotlib libraries. So very popular libraries, guys. Really will enjoy because it's all about visualization. Colors will come. Up to there, we'll work with numbers, values, numbers, text. We'll work with them. But whenever we go for the practical, so here we can see colors, a different type of shapes, circles, okay, squares. We are going to see some bars, lines, we are going to see some different types of, so many different types of charts will be there. So different types of charts, different types of shapes, colors, all these things we are going to see that. Something which is going to be different compared with the other topics. Because data visualization is more effective whenever you want to analyze any data or something like that. Obviously, we require more, which is going to be analysis is required. Go for some kind of a data visualizations, what we have to do that. Next, apart from that, after that, as I said that these are all the three fundamentals, guys. Python is a basic programming language. But for data science, what we have to learn NumPy, Pandas, and visualizations. So data analysis, and which is going to be data manipulations and data visualizations. So these are all the basic fundamentals, guys. Then we go for something called as just an example quickly. In Pandas, we are going to see how to, in Pandas, how to read the data. So loading the data from CSV files, etc. Okay, slicing, and apart from that, analytics we are going to do something called as an dropping of values and all these things, guys. We'll see them. We'll see how we are going to be gets working, joining of data sets. Okay, at some one point I want to tell you guys, and even yesterday somebody also messaged me, but whether the person was there or not there, sir, is that SQL is required in data science? So is SQL is required in data science. So the SQL, whatever generally, SQL is a language. Maybe all of you have been heard about that. So SQL is a language which is basically used to work with any database systems. Better to say that relational database systems. So there is going to be some relational database systems. Obviously, as I already said that. So when I started my career in 2003, which is 22 years back, so I used to work on, first I started my career with relational database system. I was an expert in SQL. SQL, PL SQL, we know that, right? SQL and PL SQL, how to work with that, with the different types of database systems. Even in my system also, I have some databases. Various database systems also will be there. I have Oracle database will be there. I use as Oracle database. It's Oracle. So there is an Oracle database. I think recently I deleted for some reason. Yeah, it's there. It's an Oracle database is there. And apart from that, I also have a database called as an SQL Server database. So there are two different databases from one is from Microsoft and one is from the Oracle Corporation. But both of them are only for management, guys. Basically, the database system's main capability is only to manage the data. If you want to do any analysis, again, we have to write some SQL queries or complex SQL queries or something like that, what we have to write. So whatever the tasks we do in SQL, same task we are going to do it in, which is going to be pandas. So what generally we have to do is, if anyone having any relational database, for example, if they want to do some analysis on the relational databases, so what they can do, actually we have to use a SQL language. But SQL is not required here now. We are not going for some kind of an, it's an like an limited. The scope of the implementation is very limited here, guys. So that's why what we will do is, you can get the data from relational database, read the data using Python. So Python can read the data, guys. Python can read the data from anywhere. So Python will read the data from a relational database, and in Python, we can store it. Now, after storing the data into the Python objects, then again, same SQL, we are going to do with the help of whatever we do in SQL, same thing, we are going to do it with the help of the pandas. So pandas is like something called as an NoSQL kind of an operations, guys. Means without using SQL, we are going to implement all the operations in SQL. Like we do filters. So we'll do something called as an filters. In SQL, how to do that? With the help of where clauses. Okay, so everything, where clause, group by clause, having clauses, joins topics, everything, whatever we can do it in SQL, same thing we do it in, which is going to be pandas. So pandas is equivalent to the, what we can say that the SQL, which is going to be the database SQL knowledge or SQL concepts, is equivalent to pandas, guys. That's it. Okay, so everything, whatever we can do it in SQL, we can do everything in the Python itself. We are going to do that. Okay, but databases are having some specialized. So there is going to be some kind of a specialized concepts will be there, guys, but almost all everything will be done. But Python, the database systems will have some other security layers, accessing of data. So permissions, all these things can be maintained with the help of a database systems, which we generally don't do it in Pythons. That's it. That's a basic difference between them. Okay. Next, the main topics are going to be machine learning. Yes, here we'll spend some little bit time. So because machine learning is very, that is the main foundation for our complete implementation. So we are going to use completely like different types of machine learning algorithms. Mainly we'll use three, guys. One is obviously classification, regression, and clustering. Classification, regression models are the main important, which comes into supervised learnings, and the clustering is going to comes into the concept called as an unsupervised learnings. So these are going to be, what are those and all these things, we'll cover up them later, guys. Later we'll discuss about them. So complete end to end, guys. So how to train your models, how to evaluate your model performance, what are the different metrics we have to use. Okay, how to improve your model performance, different types of sampling techniques. So little bit maths involved, little bit maths is involved. Once you come into the machine learning, every algorithm based on one mathematics, case, no doubt. Every algorithm will have a mathematical concept behind them. So, for example, as I said, the decision tree, entropy, KNN, distance, if you go for regression models, we have a linear algebra. Like that, guys. For every concept, every algorithm, Navi Bayes, probability theory. So like that, for every algorithm we are learning, there is going to be some math behind that. So separately, we don't learn any separate math behind that. Concepts are same only, guys. Just a slight differences will be there. Normally, we all of you know what is how to calculate a distance between two data points. So let us say that these are going to be two data points, guys, A and B. So in a two-dimensional space, that is one important things. Normally in school days, we don't learn that in a two-dimensional, but here we are going to use n-dimensionals. We don't use two-dimensional representation, guys. 3 dimension, 4 dimension, 5 dimensions. We can represent any number of dimensions, we can represent them. But normally in a two-dimensional representation, if you say x1, y1, for example, if there is going to be third dimension, so we'll say that x1, y1, z1, we'll say that. The formula remains the same. The formula does not change, guys. So it is going to be x1, y1, and this B point, for example, the B point is going to be something like n, which is going to be x2, y2. Okay, so all of you know how to calculate the distance between A comma B or distance from A to B, guys. So let us say that this is the data point A, this is the data point B. So this distance, we all of you remember the formula. If you didn't remember, don't worry. X1 minus X2 square. Sorry, just a minute. It is going to be X or anything, X2 minus X1 square or X1 minus X2 square, no problem. Because anyhow, we are squaring it, right? So when you're squaring it, I don't bother. X1 minus X2 or X2 minus X1 does not matter. X2 minus X1 square plus by 2 minus, which is going to be Y1 square. And to that, we have to calculate, which is going to be square root. So many of these data science concepts in our data science concepts, guys, many of them, there are depending on these formulas. This distance formula, it is going to be there. This is normally everyone knows about that. But there is another, this is, you may not remember that, guys, but we use this terminology. This is normally everyone learn as a distance. But once you come into this data science field, we should have a little bit differentiate. This is what we call it as an Euclidean distance, guys. We call it as an Euclidean distance. This distance, a separate name is there, guys. Euclidean distance. If you want, you can go to the online and check it out. What do you mean to say Euclidean distance? So directly from here to here, if you travel directly like this, it is an Euclidean distance. But you can travel from A to B in one more way also, right? You can travel from A to, for example, take a data point of C, and from C you can travel to, which is going to be B. So like this also you can travel. So this distance, that means this way of traveling is nothing but means you're not traveling like a diagonally anywhere to anywhere. So we have to travel only parallel to x-axis, parallel to y-axis. You cannot travel wherever you want to travel like this. Okay. So theoretically, it is going to be like this. For example, in practically, we cannot travel like that, right? So if this is my house and this is my my office, I cannot directly travel like this. There is a road is there, so we have to come only on that particular road only. We have to travel it. Air distance, if you are doing an air traveling, then there is fine. You can travel anywhere because there is no other traffic is there. Anyway, you can travel it. So that is if you want to travel from A to B, so directly from A to B, otherwise A to C and C to B. That is also one type of a distance only, guys. That is what we simply call it as, an absolute distance. There is one more name is also there, absolute distance. We call it as a Manhattan distance. Okay, so there are different types of Manhattan distance, guys. Sorry, Manhattan distance. Like that, we have a different names are there. What is the formula for Manhattan distance, guys? Nothing is there. X2 minus X1 bar plus which is going to be Y2 minus, which is modulus of X2 minus X1 plus modulus of Y2 minus Y1. Same formula, but with a slight difference. Square root and square will not be there. There is a one more way is there, guys. I want to calculate the distance between these two data points. So what is the distance between these two data points here, guys? The distance between these two data points is connect this data point to this center, connect this data point to this center, some angle will be formed. So the angle, call it as theta. So that is what we simply call it as cosine similarity. We have to calculate it. So cosine similarity is equal to nothing but what is going to be the cos theta. That is what we call it as cosine similarity, cosine distance. All these things we'll calculate it. That is also one kind of a distance, guys. That is also one kind of a distance. So for example, if these two data points are here, guys, for example, if there is one data point is here, one data point is here actually. So if I draw a which is going to be line touching this data point, if I draw a line touching this data point, there is no angle was formed. So it is going to be 0. So we all of you know that cos 0 is equal to nothing but 1, guys. Okay, cos 0 is equal to 1. So the distance between, actually, that is not the correct point. Cosine similarity is 1. Cosine distance is different. Cosine distance is nothing but 1 minus cosine similarity. So what is the cosine distance here now? Cosine similarity is 1. The cosine distance is equal to 1 minus 1, which is going to be 0, guys. Isn't it? So like that kind of a maths will be there, guys. So for this, you need not to be masters in the maths, or you need not to complete your PhD or research in the maths. It's not required, right? Just if I tell you some point, whether you are able to understand that particular point or not. So what is the cosine distance? 1 minus cosine similarity. What is cosine similarity? The angle that was formed between these two. So these two data points are very far away. These two data points are very far away, guys. Why? Because the angle that was formed between these two is 90 degrees. Cos 90 is equal to 0. Cos 90 is equal to 0. Similarity, cosine similarity is 0. 1 minus, that means no similarity. Similarity is 0 means there is no similarity. So 1 minus, which is going to be cos 90, 0, 1. So cosine distance is equal to 1 here now. Like that. These two data points are very closer. These two data points are very closer because angle that was formed with the center is going to be 0. So cosine similarity is going to be 1. Similarity is 1, but distance is 0. Like, because there are most similar. That means distance very closer. So distance will be 0 there. Like that, the calculation is going to be get something like this, guys. So a little bit of maths is required. Obviously, we have to learn maths. Absolutely. But not going to be any complicated maths and all these things. Obviously, and one more thing also. You need not to, if you go to a higher level, guys. That means if you go to some deep learning, machine learning maths is very easy. Deep learning maths is going to be like a black box. So we know what is happening there, but we can't see it. It's completely like a black box. So it is going to be something. So black box means, you know that, right? In airplanes, they will use some kind of an, they say that it is going to be black box and something, or even that is not the thing. Even we are having black box testing or something, we are going to use as them. So we don't know what is there. That means what is happening there. We know, but we cannot see it practically. So that is what we call it as. It's completely like a black box. We don't know what is happening. We know it practically, but we cannot see it there. So that is going to be something about the deep learning models. It's a different case. So this is completely end to end. We'll learn machine learning completely, guys. Each and every algorithm we are going to learn. Okay, so we are going to see all those particular examples practically. So all these things, so random forest, boosting algorithms, different types of boosting algorithms, implementing the pipelines, how to implement the pipelines. Most time taking process is machine learning only, guys. Then we'll go to something called as in deep learning models. Then we'll go to the deep learning models we are going to go for. So deep learning, there obviously, there also we are going to learn, spend some time there, guys, because what are neural networks and all these things. The time is going to be mainly for implementation, because neural networks will take a little bit time, a little bit more level of coding. Coding means steps will be more, guys. Your steps of implementation is going to be more compared with our machine learning applications. Easy, but it's going to be a little bit implementation steps will be more, steps will be there. So that is the reason it will take a little bit time. So different types of neural networks also we are going to learn, guys. As I said that we are going to learn something like an ANN, artificial neural network, CNN, convolution neural networks, and RNN, recurrent neural networks. In recurrent neural networks only, we have LSTMs, we have something called as NGRUs. Okay, apart from that, some other topics also there, guys. We have something called as a GAN, encoders, decoders, transformers. These are all some transformers are going to be just fundamentals for which is going to be LLM models. So that is deep learning, guys. Then we are going to go towards the NLP. Okay, I'll show you once, which is going to be deep learning. So these are the options here, guys. So what are neurons? Because it's a completely based on the neural networks. So neural networks are nothing but some series of connected neurons will be there. What are those and all these things we'll discuss about that. So neural networks and all these things, we are going to work with them, guys. So as I already said that, so different type of data sets will use ANN versus CNN, convolution and pooling layers, all these things will work with them, guys. So even working with audio files, okay, some kind of an audio files also, we are going to work with them. Audios and images, text, mainly, we are going to work on this, guys. Numbers, which is going to be, numbers will be there, normally machine learning. In deep learnings, we are going to work with something with the concept of images or with the concept of audio files. Those are the things what we are going to work. Then NLP. So natural language processing, which is a fundamental, guys. This is a fundamental for generative AI. Previously, we used to stop there. But now after NLP is the techniques, guys. Very interesting techniques will be there. NLP is basically which helps you to convert our numbers into later we'll discuss about that practically, our text data into which is going to be numbers, it will convert it. Text data converted into numbers. For example, if I said hello, that hello will be converted into some kind of a numbers. Some kind of which is going to be numbers, it is going to convert. Some numbers, it's going to be, we'll call it as array of numbers. Okay, for example, if I said hi, that hi is also going to be converted into some kind of a numbers. But that that main interesting concept here is hello and hi is representing the same meaning. It's going to be some kind of a greeting, a word which we generally use it for whenever you want to greet a person or something. So we use as the word. So the numbers are such a way that these two numbers, that means the whatever the numbers that was generated for hello, whatever the numbers that was generated for hi, there are almost all equal numbers. Equal means the distance, the cosine similarity will be very less. In between these two, similarity will be very less. Cosine similarity, just now I discussed about that. So similarity will be very, very less. Like that. So you can also do some manipulations also. Later we'll discuss about that. We'll see there is some statements are there, guys, like something like an king minus which is going to be man. So from the king, you can subtract the man. Normally we cannot do it, guys, but here we can do mathematically. King minus man plus which is going to be woman. So king minus man plus woman is equal to nothing but it is going to be queen. Why? Because we are subtracting the king. So king is nothing but it is nothing but a royal person. A royal person, it's a man. From that man, we are subtracting the man. So man and man will get cancelled. Now royal person plus queen, woman, that is going to be nothing but what we call it as queen. We have a popular statement here, guys. It's a popular statement in our which is going to be an embeddings topic. If you want, you can go and search, which is going to be king minus, which is going to be, you can see that concept is there, guys. King minus, which is going to be man plus woman. So what is this statement stands for? So king minus man plus woman is equal to queen. So you can see this is going to be some representations. So later we are going to work with all these particular application, guys. Okay. So this is going to be nothing but some kind of an mathematical ways we can do that. So what is the vector representation of a king? So you can see this is king. So king minus which is going to be man plus which is going to be woman, that is going to be becomes a queen. If you see, this is a calculation. So king vector is 0.5, 0.7, and woman is going to be 0.3, 0.4. Man is equal to 0.5 and 0.2. So 0.5 minus 0.5 is 0, 0.7 minus 0.2 is 0.5. So to that we added 0.3 plus which is going to be 0.9. We'll get these values. So like that. So it is going to be some vector additions, vector subtractions, all these things we have to learn it, guys. Later we'll work on those particular applications. So that is NLP concepts. And after that, using these particular NLP concepts only, there is going to be something about the generative AI concepts, what we are going to work with them. So you cannot understand now itself, because for many of you, it may not be aware about, you don't know, guys, what is meaning of generative AI, but using the generative AI, what kind of an applications we are going to do, guys? Some kind of a chatbot kind of applications we can do. Okay, so we mainly rack systems. We are going to develop rack systems are plays a very important role, guys. So developing of some kind of a rack systems we are going to do. So kind of a chatbot applications we are going to perform. These are all called as large language models. Mainly our concentration in the generative AI is mainly to develop some kind of an which is going to be LLMs. In short, we simply call it as LLMs, which stands for large language models. Are completely, we are having something called as an vision language models. What are vision language models? Vision language models are going to be nothing but which can generate images. Images we are going to be generating as. Okay, vision language models, large language models, I think large, okay, we call it as large vision models, whatever we call it as. So they are capable to generate the text. So we do that kind of an applications, what we are going to do that. A very popular libraries will be there, OpenAI, obviously we all of you know that. Okay, and something called as a Langsmith, Langser, it's going to be LangGraph. All these things are going to be gets working with these applications. So building some chatbots with conversation history using some LangChain, Q&A. So a kind of a Q&A kind of a chatbot. So if you ask a question, it is going to answer the requirement, or it will it will answer you. So according to your required business scenarios or etc., something like that. So how to chat with SQL. So how to connect with databases using some LLM models. So some kind of an integration between Hugging Faces and which is going to be LangChain management. So we'll see what is that Hugging Faces and all these things. So how to deploy all your GenAI application into Hugging Faces spaces and all these things we'll see. Even GenAI with AWS, fine tuning of LLM models, what is LangGraph. So these are all going to be some of the topics which we are going to work with them. So don't worry. So the thing is, for LLMs, actually for generative AI, the basic fundamentals is NLP. So that's why we separated. So if you go to generative AI classes, what they will teach you, again, all these topics they will teach you. So at least minimum you have to have the basic knowledge of we should have a basic knowledge of NLP. Without the NLP knowledge, we cannot go and we cannot work there, guys. So at least some minimum knowledge of the NLP, a little bit knowledge of, sometimes I'll use as pandas, or sometimes I'll use as data visualizations. A little bit of machine learning is required, little bit of deep learning is required. So first we are completing all those basic fundamentals. So already you're spending that time. So for our generative AI applications, guys, maybe hardly 20 days, I can say how much time I have given there. 20 days, guys. 20 days means almost all it is going to be 3 weeks more than it is going to be takes it, guys. Practically almost all it is going to be at least 1 month, you can say it is going to be takes it, guys. Okay. So these are all going to be some topics, guys. As I already said that total duration will be somewhere around 6 months, guys. Because as I said, an average of, so if you want to complete the classes as soon as possible means we have to work 6 days a week. Instead of working 5 days a week, you have to work for 6 days a week. Okay. Then we can complete it. So I think morning 6 a.m. Saturday, I think it is feasible. It does not disturbs your what is the other commitments at the weekends. Even the people who are in US also, they also don't have any effect on that. So
Yes, sir.
other batches may be having some effects, but this 6 a.m. is going to be optimal for everyone. So if it is good for everyone, we'll plan for Saturdays also. Okay, so 5 days a
Vamsi,
week.
quick question. The
Yes.
GenAI 20 days here versus the generative AI specific course, you have 3 months. So are you cutting it short here
Cutting
in
it
terms
short.
of?
Cutting it short means there we don't have all this topic of machine learning, deep learning. This much time we don't spend there. The final generative AI topics are the same. Okay, in generative AI classes, actually, if anyone wants to learn only about generative AI, they don't want to learn all the basic fundamentals. Or some people who already have the basic knowledge of machine learning, deep learning concepts. So for those people, they can directly go to generative AI. Why they have to learn all these pandas, spending some time on data visualization, machine learning, deep learning, all these topics are not required, right? So their main topic time is going to be, again, there is a concept of NLP will be there. Again, the same concept of generative AI is going to be there. So no difference will be there. So if you go there, that is going to be difference. So I'll show you, even that generative AI development is also there. If you see the Gen AI topic there, same topics will be there. There is no difference in the topic there. Okay, but in machine learning, these are the topics. You find the difference? This is this one, because this class is for the entire data science. So if you see the deep learning, so only these are the topics what we are going to discuss them, because they may already learn all these basic fundamentals, they already know about that. So the people who are already having the idea about data science, machine learning, they can directly jump into this particular. That's the reason why we are conducting only for which is going to be a shortcut of which is going to be 3 months of time we are going to be completing of it. If you want, you can compare same NLP, same GenAI, same topics will be there. No difference in the topics. Maybe 1 or 2 topics may be slightly different, because maybe some topics I have been removed from that. So unnecessary topics maybe. So that is the reason I think text summarization with LangChain will not be available. So you can learn. So text summarization is not that much important. So that's why we removed it from our generalized class. In our this one in the generative AI classes, we have given this particular extra. But pandas and all these things, we don't take this much time. So this is a pandas. So we don't discuss pandas at all in this particular class. That pandas class itself will take 15 days in our class of which is going to be here now. So there is a difference. This is pandas classes in our classes. That means in our data science classes. So this is your pandas classes. See that complete difference between these two. How much difference? Almost all half of the time. visualization is there. Here almost all here it is generative AI classes. We don't teach that much in the generative AI classes, but in our full stack data science classes, we'll be having, which is going to be the what all the complete, which is going to be generative AI class. The data visualization is there. So you can find the difference in machine learning. A lot of difference you can find it of. This is in our class. This is our full stack data science class. Whereas in generative AI, what is machine learning? Only these are the topics. So we are cutting short, not the generative AI topic. We are cutting short of the, which is going to be this basic, whatever the core concepts are there, those topics. Because already some people 2 years back, 3 years back, they already learned machine learning, they already learned deep learning. So they already know the concepts. So why should ask them to again learn all this again, these topics? So that is the reason that is going to be 6 months of time. So this is 6 months of time, that is half of the time, which is going to be nothing but the 3 months of time. 3 to 4 months it will take it. It won't take 3 months. It will take at least 4 months. It will take it.
So,
Okay.
Vamsi, one question.
Yes, please.
When jobs are posted
Mm.
in for needing an Gen AI engineer or
Mm-hmm.
AI ML
Mm.
engineer, so
Yes.
which one will have more requirements? Why are they separately needed?
So see, generative AI models are for some purpose. Okay. So there are mainly used for development of LLMs. That is their purpose. So these are going to be different. So they want to train some models, they want to make some machines to learn, or they want to get some kind of an insight from the data. So they use this machine learning. So whenever they want to work something based on the data analysis and all these things, if they want to work with the business perspective, then they will use this machine learning, deep learning models, they will use us there. So their objectives are completely different. So data science, machine learning, deep learning, all these things, objects are different. Whereas the LLM model, generative AI, their particular objectives are going to be different. So completely depends on that. So if you want, I can just show you like just an example. So let me open Naukri. Let me open the Naukri portal. So go there and just verify like what is going to be for Gen AI. So just type Gen AI. So if we can just type generative AI or Gen AI engineers, so a lot of things are coming. So data engineer, Python with Gen AI. So it's going to be a little bit of data engineering. So what are the words we are using there? You know that it's a data engineering means again Spark, those kind of a little bit required. So Gen AI in Tech in the which is going to be Tech Mahindra. So generative AI. So it is going to be, we'll discuss agent space and all these things. But if you see the remaining words, whatever the words mostly we have been got worked, you can see that. So these are going to be some kind of n. So these are all data. It's related to Gen AI development. So let me open any one of them. Let me open Gen AI for Tech Mahindra. Let me open it. Let us check it out. Is there any just a minute once.
But they are asking the experience like 5 years, 6 years. Like, do
No, no.
people have so much experience in real
That
life?
much is not required. That means generalized experience is 7 to 9 years. Currently, requirement on Gen AI is going to be like 1 year. They will 1 year on the Gen AI.
Okay, okay. So
One
seven
year.
to nine is the total like industry experience you mean, right?
Total experience should be, which is going to be that much. They should be having there. So if you can see, they're asking about 3+, maybe it is due to that. But if you observe carefully, minimum 6+ years of experience with designing and implementation of AI ML models. Out of which minimum they're asking for 3+ years of experience implementing on generative AI applications. Generally for 1 year, just 1 year, because the companies will ask, but the industry, the people also knows that we don't have that much people. So whenever new technology comes, you know what they will do that. So they will ask it, but they will check whether he's having some experience or not. Once they're having some experience, that is going to be sufficient with that. Okay. So at least one Gen AI based solution into product or POC. See, even if observe carefully, must have delivered at least one
Yeah.
Gen AI based solution into production or at least POC level. At least for proof of concepts, we have to POC level. If you can do it, that is sufficient. Must have a good programming language, experience in LLMs, open source LLMs like ChatGPT, Llama, Gemini, okay, Mixtral. I think it is not Mixtral, it is Mistral, I think so. Okay, fine, we'll see. LangChain, just now I don't know, LangChain, which is going to be Llama index frameworks. These are just, you should know the framework, which is going to be the basic ideas, what we have to do that. So like this, that means they look for the people, but absolutely if you are already having some idea, so 6 to 11 years of experience at Genpact. So they're asking for 6 to 7 years of experience at Genpact, but how much you can see, read more. So we have to read just now. If we can see rack systems, I told you. So it is going to be rack systems. So the terminologies you try to observe carefully, whether you are going to be covering about those particular things or not. So it is going to be, okay, it's going to be experience with LangChain framework, or which is for Gen AI. Develop and fine tune the models, AI models such as GPT for various application language translations. It's an example for various application, like which is going to be various application use generative AI to work tools like text generation, sentiment and analysis, chatbots, language translation using RAG, and which is agent-based models. So these are the things what we have to use. Same words, llama, Hugging Faces. Okay, Mistral actually. It is not Mixtral, it is Mistral actually. So AWS Bedrock. These are all going to be deploying for models. All these things we are going to learn practically. Thing is, observe, simple point is, guys, currently requirement is there. So whoever is going to adopt the technology first initial level is going to be whether they have a knowledge or not. After that, the next level is going to be, once it is going to be people comes, then immediately the next level is going to be some like a more refining, like experience of 2 years, 3 years. At least they will verify like more than that. Instead of saying that 1 year of experience, they say 3 years of experience is required. So more level of refining will takes place. Next level, if it go for a higher, that means more people are there on the Gen AI after 2 years or something like that. Then what will happen? They will do every verification whether you have really 2 years of experience on Gen AI. Now what they will do? They'll ask you whether you have an experience. Okay, put it first of all. After that, they will check in the interview. Technically, whether you're good or not, they will verify that. Really, whether you have the experience or not, they knows that automatically. So then they will, according to that, they are going to recruit those particular candidates according to the requirements. So absolutely, they're asking Gen AI architects are going to be there. So, but we have, which is going to be sometimes we'll get to do, maybe it depends on that. Yes.
Hi Vamsi, just a quick question.
Yes, please.
So right now, based on the current job scenarios, which one is in like high demand? Like before, there was data science and data analyst and data engineering. Now there are like AI, ML, generative AI concepts are coming, right? Like which one is like is in high like number of jobs wise, or like the market towards like where it is shifting more like which one?
AI agents, developing of AI agents.
Okay, so right
Generative
now,
AI.
if we know if we have the
Mm.
skill set related to generative AI, and if we probably shift towards that side,
Yes.
having like basic ML experience, that will help a lot in current job
Absolutely.
scenario.
It need not to be an ML experience also. Even from non-ML experience also, you can move towards the Gen AI and AI, agentic AI, all these things we can move.
Oh,
Because there we don't require much programmatical skills and strong knowledge of, because everything has been became easy now. So even the data science, machine learning also nowadays, they became very easily. They are saying that don't train your models from your side. We already trained them, so use them. So why should I go develop it? But specifically for some business particular scenarios, they don't want to use like this. They want to develop their own models. They want to develop it. In that cases, you require, so the companies will hire the people who are having the experience on the machine learning and deep learning models. Otherwise, they will try to utilize an existing models which are the pre-trained, and they will use that particular models.
But this progression is important, right? Like first learning the machine learning, then the deep learning. But at least one time we should do this progressive learning. Then maybe accordingly we can pick it on our own. So that path is better. What you say?
Yes,
If
absolutely. But
but there should be some base. There should be
that
some
must be
base.
the bridge you are talking about, that the machine
Yeah.
learning and all these things. So it is not a mandatory. The thing is, it is not a mandatory. Even if you learn that much, also how much you spend that time and do that, in that only 10%. So what we can do is, instead of doing that quickly, what you can do is, instead of spending that time, if you want to learn it a little bit more, more scope is there. Now if you learn this, for example, if you join for generative AI classes directly without learning machine learning, so you can apply the jobs only for generative AI jobs only. But if you done with the core concepts, you have a data analyst skill will be there, you have a machine learning skill will be there, we have a deep learning skill will be there, and along with the generative AI skills will be there. So now you have the 4 opportunities in your hand. You can become a data analyst if you are having a little bit less experience. So not data analyst. So you can become a machine learning engineer, deep learning engineer, NLP engineer, or generative AI engineer. So almost all 5 to 6 data visualization also will be there. If you want, you can become a data visualization expert also. So almost all 5 to 6 skills you are going to have in your hands. That is an option. More options are there. If you directly go to generative AI, other than generative AI, no other jobs, no other profiles is going to be suitable for you. Right?
In full stack, here, ordering the topics in that order, any specific reason, or it can be little bit here and there?
No, that's not like that. It's better to go like this only. Because without knowing the pandas, without knowing data visualization, without knowing NumPy, you cannot go for machine learning. Because in machine learning, compulsory you will use pandas, visualization, NumPys, all these things we have to use them. Without them, we cannot work on that. So it is better to go. So, and without learning machine learning, better we cannot go to the deep learning models. But you can learn it. You can learn it, but again you have to learn all the internals and all these things. Again you have to spend some time. So only the models will be different. The pre-processing and post-processing will be remains the same. So that is the reason. So instead of again and again learning, we don't require to learn. In every machine learning model, the pre-processing and post-processing is go. The pre-training and post-training will be the same. Only the training level will be different. So that's the reason. Once if you learn one time, every time you need not to spend the time again and again. So one time anywhere, whether you want to start with deep learning, but why we have to go for a deep learning? If I directly start with deep learning, what is the advantage of deep learning? You cannot understand it. If you first learn machine learning and then you come here, then you can understand what are the main problems in the machine learning. So to overcome that only, we are coming with the deep learning. Otherwise, simple technique. Machine learning is a like a simple solution. Deep learning is a little bit complex solution. So directly, if you jump to the complex solution for small problems, also you will try to use a complex solutions. So that's the reason. If you learn machine learning and deep learning, both if you learn it, when to use machine learning, when to use deep learning, you will understand the difference. Otherwise, you can't understand the difference there. That's the only difference, or that is the only problem what you are going to face there. But here and there, you can mix up them. But it is better to follow this one, because without knowing these topics, we cannot go to the machine learning topics. Okay, fine. That's it, guys. I'll share the file. Already I've shared the file yesterday also. So once again, I'll share the file. It's going to be full stack data science. I'm sharing the file. So just give me a second. I think it is already open. Let me close it. Okay. So I just given some idea about like the course content and all these things. Even last class also I just given an idea about like what you are going to get from our side. Recording videos, guys, day-to-day recording videos you will get it. Along with that Python 170 videos I told you, that is also you are going to get it a free of cost. And apart from that, all the regular data sets and all these things I'll give you. They're available as publicly. Initially, you don't require, because initially 1 week, 10 to 2 weeks will work with Python only. So I'll give you all the resources, guys. With the help of Google Drive, I'll give you the access with that. And the Python videos only, we have a separate platform is there. I will tell you that separate platform on the maybe a couple of days. After a couple of days, I'll tell you that one also. So that's it from my side. So almost all we completed 5 demos, guys. So actually 3 to 4 demos generally will give. I given 5 demos for you. So this will be the last and the free demo session for this will be the last demo session, guys. So from Monday, the link will changes. It will become a paid link. So who are the guys who want to really continue the course? You have to complete your registration, guys. So my recommendation is try to complete your registration if you really want to go ahead. So today or by tomorrow, because Monday morning, it's a Monday morning at 6 a.m. So at Monday morning, 6 a.m., if you do the last minute, specifically for US people, I'm just giving the instructions, because generally your time zones and our time zones are different. So automatically what will happen, you will be in your mind. That means in your time zone, but this time zone will be different. So suddenly morning 6 a.m., suddenly the meeting, if you try to join, the link does not works. So immediately again, I will be in the class. People will again messaging me. So not to have the issues. If you want to go ahead, if you just satisfied with all our course content and all these things, so you can just complete your registration by today or by tomorrow, at least by tomorrow evening. That means by our Indian time, Sunday evening, if you can complete, you will get the link. Okay, so Sunday night maybe our backend team will be there, but they don't work 24/7, right? So that is the time zone issues will be there. So by your Sunday morning, if you can complete your registration, that will be good. Without having an issue, we are going to get in, guys. Okay.
Will we
Yes.
get a call or we have to call someone?
I think there is an regarding the payment regarding this payment. So you have the which is going to be here. We have the message is there. You can see once again if anyone has missed the message, I'll copy the message. Just a message. Just give me a second. Yes. So there is an you can see yes, you can call. These numbers are there in the chat window. I have given some numbers. Okay, the bank details and all these things are there. So you can complete. Just if you directly straightforward you want to do that with any Google Pay, Phone Pay, or even the account numbers are also there. So you can use only one account number is there. So they have given the current account. So either you can transfer to that or any drops like we have this one, right? The forex we have that money dropping will be there. Even if you can do that one also, that's nowadays no one is using that. But anything like account pay, it is better to do the account pay is there directly, better to do the accounts, and the account numbers and all these things are there. And you have to send a screenshot of this of your payment to this particular email address, guys. So yes, where is that email address? It is DurgaSoft. It's one, guys. DurgaSoft online training @gmail.com. So DurgaSoft online training @gmail.com. So you have to send a screenshot from your email ID, guys. So please send it if you have any issues. So if you have any problems, guys, so you can reach on these particular contact numbers. There are given some 3 or 4 contact numbers are there. Still, if you have any issues, you can also reach me out on my number also. You can reach it out, guys. Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
topics, how many projects you will going to explain? Like we
It's
have
not like it's not like how many projects we are going to do. So this classes itself is going to be like in case studies. We'll do that. So we'll do multiple projects for each topic. We are going to, that means each algorithm we are going to learn one case study or one project we are going to do like that. So depending on how many algorithms we are going to use in generative AI, we are going to do 4 or 5 different types of application developments. We are going to do that. So we don't count it, but to get some hand-on practice for every individual concept we are going to learn, we are going to do one kind of a small kind of, it's not a complete end-to-end project, but we are going to do one kind of a project, but one or two end-to-end projects we are going to do at the end of the training program.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe yesterday I have just given wrong numbers. Okay. 800807717. So that is my contact number, guys. Once again, I'm sharing you. So if you have anyhow, we'll also create a group later, guys. For the our batch, we are going to create one Telegram group. I will create it. So that is what we can. That is my contact number, guys. So you can just access. You can try to just get my. If you want any issues are there, please try to reach me on my number, on my WhatsApp number. You can. Yesterday, 1 or 2 people also called me to discuss about that. Yes.
Hi, Vamsi. Would we have
Yes.
any like boot camp kind of sessions where we can work together and solve the?
We'll try it because it may not be feasible here. Basically, it will be there, but different people works at different levels. One thing and different. We'll try to at least one boot camp. We'll try to conduct one at least. I'll try to
I'm seeing
conduct.
a lot of boot camps outside in the market. Wherever they are advertising a lot, are like that too
It
full
will
day.
be. So we'll do.
I don't know
That
how
means we'll
advantage
try
that.
to do that. But the thing is, we should also have the resources and all these things. We should also have the resources, right? So I'll check it out. I'll check it out if there is any possibility, at least to work with them, because they have to be collaborative. All of them should be, so everyone should work on the same time zone. There will be there, but I will check it out once. But up to now, I didn't provide it. Obviously, what I will do is I'll take some input from the students only. So depending on their requirement, we'll add up them. So if we'll try, if it is possible, we'll try one kind of a bootcamp. I'll try to conduct it.
And last question.
Vamsi,
Yes,
Okay,
yes, please.
go ahead.
Yes, let's complete up. Yeah, please complete.
I don't know if you already told about the software installation or anything on our
No,
computers.
it's yeah, it's not yet done. In Monday's class, I'm going to start with that. I'll start with first some basic softwares only, but mainly 3 softwares we are going to use. Two softwares mainly. One is Anaconda, and one is going to be VS Code. These are the 2, but don't do any installations. I'll explain in the coming classes because actual classes were not yet started.
Everything will be free versions only, right?
Everything
Down
free
the line
versions
until the
only.
course ends.
Everything is free. But sometimes when you go to Gen AI applications, you have to pay and you have to use some
Okay,
models
I'm
if
done.
you want
Thank
to
you.
test it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody
Fine.
was
mentioned
asking.
about that dedicated Python videos, right? When would you share that?
It will come within a couple of days. It will come because
Okay.
once you get registered, so at a time
Sure.
all these users will be there, but the platform is different. That means it is not from Google Drive. Our daily classes will be given from Google Drive. I'll tell you the procedure later. You have to go to durgasoftonline.com, and there you have to, if you see, there is going to be some login button will be there here now. So you have to just click on that login button. Here in my system, it is already logged in, right? In your system, you'll get a login button will be there. Just click on the login and you have to sign in. From there, you have to get the access. There you will get the access of the Python videos. Our courses, our regular classes will be given through Google Drive. Okay. Fine. I'll tell you, I'll tell you how to do that. Just after a couple of classes, I will explain one by one, but maximum to get the Google Access Drive and all the Google
Hi,
Drive
sir. My
access
name
and
is
all these
Kishore.
things. Yes, Kishore, please. Yes, Kishore.
Actually, I was telling like I already had this Python 170 videos class purchased from myself. So will I get any additional complimentary classes?
No, no.
It's already purchased.
No. Just you ask them then. You can ask.
Months back.
You can talk to our backend team then. Okay, fine. I'll
So
tell you
as
this.
and when the class is completing, you will upload the video and the code both into.
Not immediately.
Check with the backend team.
But same day.
Generally, yeah, but that means for US people it's a morning 6 o'clock, right? Maybe for US candidates it may becomes a little bit midnight or something like that. Maybe by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock they will upload them maximum because they will have multiple videos will be there one by one course they will upload it. Maximum this is 6 o'clock, right? So generally what they will do is by maximum by 8 or 9 o'clock they will upload. By maximum by 9 o'clock they will upload the file. Okay, but maximum same day. Right. Yes. Any more questions, guys? Anyone?
Yeah, Vamshi.
Yes, please.
So after completing this course, so we can apply for like data science positions and AI, ML engineer, and also generative AI, right?
Yes,
Like
yes.
everything will be, we will be eligible for.
You are eligible, but at the same time, you should also expert in that. You should have some expertise in that, right? Just not completion of your course, right? So
Yes.
what I suggest here is after once you start with that, so you choose which topic, which particular which area you are more expertise. For example, if you've done more and more expertise on machine learning, so apply for machine learning. So or if you are more interested towards NLP, so then you can explore more about the NLP. You need not to be an expert in all the 5-6 areas what we are going to be discussing, right? So you are eligible, but the thing is you show expertise in 1 or 2 areas instead of concentrating on all the areas because it takes a lot of time to explore all the things at a time. That's the reason what you do is just choose 1 or 2 topics, concepts, or 1 or 2 different types of roles or whatever you can say, and expertise on that and apply for those particular jobs better. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Any more, guys? Any more questions?
So it's sharp 1 hour only.
Sharp
Vamsi?
1 hour. Sharp 1 hour. Yes, absolutely.
Not 1.5 hours, right?
No. Because these are demo classes, and that too, I cancelled as I already said that last week I was not feeling well. Now I was able to now I was recovered. So 7 o'clock I have one more class is there. So I have to just wind up by 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. So thanks all of you guys. And as I said that from Monday, link will be changing on the session with timing is the same, 6 to 7 a.m. And the link will changes. Only the registered users will get the this one. If you have any concerns regarding the payments and all these things, try to complete off today itself, guys. Today and tomorrow morning by at least on the first of tomorrow, because Sunday, right? So again, our team may not be available. So if it is best option is to complete off today. If it is evening classes, Monday evening means no problem. Monday morning you can do the registrations, but it is Monday morning itself at 6 a.m. right? So better if you can complete your registrations to go ahead. So do it today itself, guys. I will also available in the case any issues are there related to any payments or anything, something like that. So reach me on my WhatsApp number, guys. Okay. Thanks for today. And I'll see you on Monday with a new link on the same time, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.